I think the understanding that there are so many people here who hold the same dreams that you do. You thought coming out of high school, okay, I have a great focus on what I want to do. I want to be a sportscaster. I want to be in news, and I know exactly what I want to be. But then you realize there are 20 of you or 30 of you. So that competitive universe that you see is here already. And I think that's one of the great preparations for Newhouse students, because your peers are the people in the business who are going to push you forward. So I think it's one of the reasons that Syracuse students come out truly ready for the industry, because we've been rubbing elbows with people who are like-minded and just as pushy or as ready to go as we are. Strategy. I think the number one thing is strategy, whether it's an alum, an advisor, a professor, someone who has walked through the terrain you're about to go across. What's my best strategy? What's my best plan? I think having a goal. What do I really want to do? Where do I want to work? What part of the country? Because given the way the media has just expanded and grown, it's the largest dartboard imaginable. You know, there's a little cable operation somewhere that could be the job that sends you off to a great career. There could be a big market where behind the scenes may send you off to that great career. So get a focus, have a plan, have a strategy, and have a plan A, B, and C. Okay, by this time, if this doesn't work, then I need to do this, or I need to go here. So I think that's true of when you get a job in the business too. Okay, I have a plan now, what's my next step? Always be looking 2 or 3 steps ahead and know that those steps may not be directly one above the other. I may have to go around here or around there to get there. I think that is a success strategy in a very changing business, which the media is. But I think short term for students trying to find a home, it's a number one important, I guess, qualification to how do you tackle May, graduation, and oh my gosh, I've got to figure out a plan here. It's huge, and I wish I had more of a news background than I do, because things happen every day in the world of news that affect the world of sport. Whether it's war, the economy, just think of the NFL and the NBA labor situations now. It'd be a heck of a lot more comfortable if I understood antitrust law and business and CBAs and collective bargaining agreements and the other labor laws in the country. So the news world is on the back page in sports every single day. The problems of society, everything, cities, governments, building stadiums with public funds. So it's just a reminder that you can't just look at the back section of the newspaper or the sports section by itself. You need to understand everything that's going on. You know, the best way to lose a job is to make an insensitive remark. So if anyone in sports was oblivious to the natural disasters in Japan, or before that in Haiti, that would have been a huge mistake. I think we've removed the use of war terminology in sports a lot more. So if you're not conversant in what's going on in the world, then you make mistakes. If you use any references to nuclear power, plutonium grade, things like that I've heard other people use in sporting events before, you'd make a fool of yourself if you did that now. So the news background is huge, it's important, and it's also important because more and more people are being asked at the beginning to do everything. So maybe 6 months reporting news is what prepares you to get the weekend sports job when somebody leaves at your station. Or that one night that you do weather may show, wow, you have such a good personality, we're going to keep you on the air for a few months. And then you can get to the job that you don't have, that you want to get. So as broad and as versatile a utility player as you can be is a great base and foundation for opportunity and options. Yeah, the list of accomplishments of a college graduate are pretty similar. Maybe there's some separation in grade point average. Maybe there's some separation in experience, hands-on experience. In this business, for people who want to be in front of the camera, there's ability. And some will argue that it's something you're born with. And some will argue that it's a task or a talent you can develop over time. Everyone pretty much has a similar starting platform, the question is, what do you do that makes you special, makes you unique, makes you different? And perhaps the hardest interview you do is when you interview yourself. And you figure out, okay, what makes me more qualified for this job than the guy down the street or the gal getting out of this school 1,000 miles away from here? Because if there are students at Syracuse who are coming out prepared similarly, Lord knows there are people all over the country who have similar preparation. Perhaps not with the tradition of this school and the background that this school carries, but that doesn't get you a job. What gets you a job is your ability and your opportunity of seizing a moment successfully. So I advise people and suggest that interview you do with yourself and ask the hard questions. What do I do best? How can I succeed? And where is the best place for me? That will help you differentiate amongst 100,000 people and perhaps get you located and focused on the right place to go for a job. I think the sports business is changing a little bit because our instantaneous world is forcing it that way. There's less depth, more surface, more now, not give me 5, 10 minutes to tell you the story of. You have to identify where are the jobs, where are the realistic places I can land to start, and once you get in, I always like to tell people the best way to find a job is to have a job. So if you have a larger skill set that will help you find an available job, you can get in and convince somebody this is the job I've always wanted, well, that's going to help you find the next job and get noticed for the next job. So while there may be limited opportunities in that role that you crave and desire, you can build up a pretty thick resume over time so somebody notices you or you're ready to get that job when it becomes available. I thought when we left and got out, I thought it was going to be miserable, cutthroat, not pleasant people to have as a peer group. And it's turned out to be just the opposite. I think maybe in the past that might have been more true because there were fewer jobs, and holding on to a job, people were very territorial and defensive of it. But one of the things I really appreciate and enjoy now is that a lot of us who do this will text each other when somebody does a good job. And we're fans of each other's work and appreciative. And I think it's because there are more jobs out there than there ever have been. So there are more opportunities to do those things. And most of us know that we are not the be-all, end-all. And I usually add to a group that nobody watches a game because of the announcer. An announcer may enhance the game, but if we took like 3 of us and they deemed, hey, you need to call the Super Bowl on a moment's notice, people are not going to turn off the Super Bowl because we're broadcasting it. Now, they may not enjoy it as much. They may say that it matters. But at the end of the day, if the game's great, people watch. And all you can do is enhance it or get in the way and have to make that decision. So I think all of those things have made all of us realize that we're caretakers. There'll be somebody else coming along for our jobs here down the line. But we're very big fans and appreciative of the talents of other people. And that's been nice to find. I've made a lot of great acquaintances who are peers in this business. I didn't think that was going to be the case.